Module 3, the constant evolution of our person. This module is about how we perceive life. Do we have a running picture, or are we taking snapshots and then keeping the snapshots in our mind and changing them? If we allow for the transition of a moving reality, that every moment things change, it forces us to relinquish control. We all think we're in control, but we're actually not. There's a lovely story of two monks. Let me first say this. Are your impressions that you're holding in your mind agitating your mind? Are you measuring everything against the agitation in your mind? Or are you allowing people to flow freely? The story of the two monks, they're walking by a river and they see a lady, and the lady says, "Please, could you help me cross the lake?" So one monk says, "Sure." He carries her, he picks her up, and they walk her across the lake. Leaves her at the other side, she says thank you, and they keep walking. 2 hours later, the other monk turns to him and says, "I can't believe you carried that lady." And the monk looks at him, smiles, and replies, he goes, "I left her at the edge of the lake. Why are you still carrying her?" So it goes to show that if we carry agitation in our mind and we're constantly grieving ourselves over something, and the other person's intention was not bad, they were doing something out of the kindness of their heart, and we hold it against them, we have to think again. We have to measure, what are we holding? What are we letting go of? What are we blaming things on other people for secretly without them even knowing? And then we're measuring every aspect of life against that. Is it fair? Is it accurate? Or is it your cognitive bias of wanting to be right, therefore you're measuring everything in the negative? Our cognitive biases are something that are worth looking at. There's a beautiful chart about cognitive biases that I invite you to study, to know how our minds function and how we want to measure every reality against something we know. The best way is actually to know that we know nothing, and every moment is a new one. So life is a constantly evolving movie that we witness, but we don't hold on to, and we don't judge. We enjoy every moment for what it is. And if something negative happens, we can look up at the sky and say, I wonder why. There must be beauty in this for me. What is your eye on reality? How do you measure yourself? Do you believe that universe plays a role, or do you think that you're controlling your whole life? Are my expressions a direct correlation of my impressions? If they are, you're vacuuming everything to be enclosed. If I'm leaving space for anything to be, there's wondrous things that can be. You know, words can never be taken back. Have I spoken words that I regret? Are my words reliable? You have to measure your words first before judging someone's response to you. The response you get will be the measure of your own words. You cannot judge someone for saying something negative if you're not measuring what you have said to invite that. The unit of I, looking at the I with the deeper I, is understanding that ideally we should be one person. Are you? Or are you different with your family, different with your friends, nicer to your friends than you are to your family? Are you superficial and joyful with people, but then those closest to you, you're mean and miserable? How do you interact with people at work? Do you have empathy for them? Do you look at life from behind their eyes and see what they're going through? Are we measuring? Or are we thinking the grass is greener on the other side and only my life is important, not anyone else's? How can that be joyful if we don't even give grace to other people's woes, let alone those closest to us? I think we punish the people closest to us the most because we take them for granted. Why do we take them for granted when they're the most precious things to us? We should be in gratitude 24/7 for those closest to us and expressing that gratitude with love, with generosity, with happiness, making them feel good, not waiting for them to make us feel good. Am I the sum of what everybody thinks of me, or do I have my own honorable impressions about myself? How important is it what other people think of me? Honestly, for me, it's not important anymore, because I know that I'm doing my best, I'm trying my best, I'm working hard, I want to bring bliss, I want to bring joy to people. Are you doing the same? Are you able to let go of other people's impressions and be authentically you in order to do what's right? And to give of yourself generously. I invite you to do that contemplation. It's a worthy one. For one day, 24 hours, or 2 days, 48 hours, just let go of the you and say, I'm just going to be giving. For the next 48 hours, I'm just going to give, give, give. I'm not going to hold any impressions of anything or anyone. I'm just going to be selfless and give of myself. What relationships will you change when you do that? Who will you go and seek forgiveness from? Who will you call and check if they're okay? What would you do differently if you're forgetting about you? And you're only focused your attention on making other people happy. Literally happy. Which wrongs would you want to make right? Are there any? We know that whatever anyone says speaks about them, not about us. What words are you using to speak about you that other people will take graciously? So it's a game you play. On one side, you forget about you and you look outward to just make people happy, to give, give, and give. And then you turn it around and you say, what are my words reflecting about me? Am I living to my highest and best in my actions, in my communication? Or am I living inside myself, only thinking about me? Are we generous of heart? What is my motivation in my words and my actions? What is my intention? You know, self-accountability, we've talked about it and we'll keep talking about it. Self-accountability is about really stopping with the me, looking outward and saying, have I given my best? If the answer is yes, your world will be blissful and peaceful. There shouldn't be any need for you to even go through this. If the answer is no, I urge you to please go within. Don't look outside for answers. Only look to yourself and to see what you can change, because you can change the world. You can change your world and you can change the world of everyone around you. Be free, be generous, be liberated. Let it go.